There has been so much debate in the wake of February's school shooting in Parkland, Florida, about how to make our schools safer. Pennsylvania Auditor General Eugene DePasquale is planning an announcement today on a recent school security audit. He joins us now on the Fox 43 Capitol Beat. Always a pleasure having Matt. You back here. The audit that you're announcing today that your team's been working on, how long have you been working on this, and is this a direct response to what happened in Florida and some of the recent school threats that have been made over the last month here?
Well, two parts. One is it's actually not one audit. It's how we're going to adjust our school district audit. So we audit every school district in the state on a rotational basis. So it's merely enhancing something that we're already doing. Second part is, my predecessor, Jack Wagner, started school safety audits following some school violence, about a decade ago. What I'm announcing today, and it is a direct result of what happened in Parkland and really what's been tragically happening in other school districts across the country, is we're going to be enhancing our school safety audits as part of that. So we're going to be meeting with law enforcement experts, even construction experts, on how when schools are building new buildings or when schools are doing additions, what school districts need to consider on making those buildings safer for students as well.
What have you seen, and what have what of your team has seen in terms of the ways? Is there a quick fix to making things better and making schools safer?
I know everyone wants a quick fix, but the reality is there is no quick fix. I mean, it's about better drills with the kids, better drills with the teachers, certainly better coordination with law enforcement, certainly how you design the buildings is going to be important. And then we need to have obviously other discussions about do we want metal detectors at the schools, various items like that, to make sure that people aren't getting into the school with guns.
How much do you try to avoid making sure that there's that these are all legislative fixes? How much can something be a legislative fix versus what you are able to do, what recommendations you're able to make out of your office that police departments can make directly?
There are certain things that we can recommend that will require no legislation, and there'll be certain items that may require legislation, and we'll be upfront about that. So if there's something that can be done through administratively or just simply through smarter construction, we'll recommend that. But if we think something needs legislation, we'll certainly recommend that as well, but point out that would require the legislature to act.
I want to follow up on your State of the Child report from September, and that came out the last time you were here. It said, just kind of getting people up to speed, that the state's children and youth welfare system was broken. Right. $2 billion going in, 100 kids either dying or coming close to death in the CYS system. It's been 6 months since that report. What's changed?
We have been traveling. I've been over now the last 2 to 3 months. I've been to 20 specific counties meeting with caseworkers directly on this issue. We're about a month away from unveiling our report on how to fix what is now a broken child protection system across Pennsylvania.
What are you finding thus far?
Well, we've got to stop the turnover of caseworkers. We've got to improve the training. Certainly, we've got to find a way, and I think pay is part of this, to try to keep some of those workers. We have to improve their coordination with law enforcement. And we also, and this is more than just the caseworkers' obviously responsibility, but there has to be a way to tackle this opioid epidemic, because that certainly is impacting child welfare as well.
And the opioid epidemic, it kind of has really taken a turn for the worse, it seems like, in the last year or two. How much, when you're doing your research on this, how much has the opioid aspect of this, how much has that come up in terms of being a negative part of all this? It
doesn't matter if I'm in urban, suburban, or rural county. Every caseworker says the last year to 2 years, because of opioids, the explosion, it was bad, now it's getting worse. Kids waking up with their parents ODing, having to call 911. I mean, that's obviously a very traumatic experience for any kid, but that's happening more and more. And look, I get that there's a lot of effort now on opioids. What we didn't see was, 5, 6 years ago was really where this rise starting. So we're going to continue to see problems for the next several years.
Lastly, you said last week that you wouldn't challenge Republican incumbent Scott Perry for the congressional seat because of your commitment to finish this term. Is there a desire to be in Washington, or what's kind of next? Because a lot of people said they wanted you to kind of explore what the other options are. What desire do you have to be in Washington, whether it's Congress or Senate?
Well, I was hoping after the McCutcheon trade that the Pirates were going to think about me in center field. But when they made some other moves, it looked like that wasn't an option.
Okay. Okay, I see what you did. Seriously, though.
No, I'm going to serve out the next 3 years, and then at some point, look, I'm not a billionaire. I'll need to get another job.
It wouldn't be a meeting with you without a Pirates reference.
Absolutely.
In all honesty, though, I mean, is Congress, Senate, something like that, is that something that you would seriously consider?
Until the new maps came out, I literally had never even thought about running for Congress. So people came to me and asked me to consider it. And when a lot of people you like and trust ask you to consider something, I did for a week. But when my term is up, you know, I have literally no idea where the next path is going to be, whether it be private sector, public sector. I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Fair enough. Auditor General Eugene DePasquale, big announcement coming this morning on everything that's going on with school safety. That's coming up at 11:30 at the state capitol. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Fox 43 Morning News will be right back.